Hi there, my sister. My name is Carolyn Hauser, and if you haven't met me yet, I'm really thrilled that you're here today. I am the author of Blossom, Your 7-Step Journey to Healing Childhood Sexual Abuse and Creating Your Dream Life, and I'm also the creator of the Blossom Journey. And today, in this video, I want to share a little bit about my story with you. I'm a German-trained naturopathic doctor and humanistic psychotherapist. For about 15 years, I've been working in the field of alternative healing and personal development. And in 4 years, when my daughter turned 3, something very interesting happened to me. And I'm sharing this with you because I have a feeling that this might have happened to you as well. So 4 years ago, I was about to turn 31. My daughter turned 3. I started having these really strange feelings coming up. It wasn't quite memories, it was just like a suspicion. My best friend at the time had shared with me that her grandfather had molested her as a child, and it had really a big impact on me, and I was wondering why that was. And then I just started having these feelings, and more I had this feeling of certainty that something had happened with me as a child. And so, to give you a little bit more about my story, when I was 11, my parents divorced, and even before they started that process, I had already stopped eating. And for most of my life, I had thought that the divorce had caused me to stop eating. But what was strange and never really made sense was that when I thought about it, the eating disorder actually started before that happened. And so then 4 years ago, when I started to remember my sexual abuse, and actually my abuse started when I was 3, so I wasn't surprised that I started remembering it when my daughter turned 3, so by me seeing her, somehow it triggered that memory, that remembrance in me. And so 4 years ago, things already all of a sudden started to click and make sense. And so from when I was 11 till I was 21, I was severely ill. I wouldn't eat, sometimes I wouldn't eat, sometimes I would eat a ton and rid myself from it, so it turned into bulimia. And at that time, I pretty much had thought that I wasn't going to make it to 35, honestly. I thought that I could be happy if I could somehow make peace with that disease and somehow arrange, like, for example, I made contracts with myself that for like 2 days a week I would eat normal, and then the third day I was allowed to just binge and, you know, get out of control and have my bulimic behavior, and then 2 days I could again be normal, and then, you know, the cycle would just go on and on and on. And for the longest time it just felt like there was this beast, I actually would call it Mr. Disgust. There was this Mr. Disgust who had power over me, and I just felt like, yeah, this thing that was controlling me. And so when I was 21, my mother, actually, all the therapists, everybody had given up on me, because when you suffer from severe eating disorders for over 10 years, your chances of recovering are very slim, it's 5% or something. So all the doctors, all the therapists had given up on me, but not my mother. She schlepped me literally to a constellation workshop, family constellation workshop, and somebody led me through the process, a facilitator led me through that process, and within 6 months of that weekend, I was able to completely let go of the eating disorders and started to have somewhat of a normal life. So I had lived through the eating disorders, but I was in a relationship that wasn't really healthy, and there were a lot of drugs involved, and so I wasn't quite done with my healing journey. And so 4 years ago, all the stuff started making sense. All the stuff why I ended up in a codependence relationship, why I had such low self-esteem. You know, before it never made sense. My mom would always say, why? I don't get it. Why do you have such low self-esteem? You know, you had such a good upbringing. And really, up until 4 years ago, I thought I had a golden childhood, because I grew up in the countryside, and my parents sent us to private school, Waldorf school, if you've heard of Waldorf school. The goal for Waldorf schools is really to preserve the spirit of the child and foster creativity. And so I went to the best school that I could think of. My children go to Waldorf school. And so just a lot of things didn't make sense until 4 years ago. And so at that point, I had already been I'd successfully built a network marketing downline. I had started coaching women around finding their own voice and finding their marketing message and becoming visible. And there I was facing, I mean, it really threw me for a hoop. I did not know. I could not coach anybody. I could not serve anybody. I did not know. I didn't know. I couldn't even be a mother at some days. I felt like I just did not know how to deal with this information and with the pain and the confusion of that discovery. And at the same time, I felt that, you know, with my background and with everything that I had already overcome and the skills and the knowledge that I had, I should be able to figure this out. And I also had a really, really deep sense that if I was able to do this for myself, I would be able to help others. And I also had the sense that this challenge or this dark night of the soul had really to do with my deeper calling. I'd always known that there was a book inside of me. You know, from when I remember, I wanted to be like Marianne Williamson or Neil Donald Walsh. Like, I still remember myself in Stuttgart, in Germany, where I'm from, laying in my bed and thinking to myself, how will I, you know, a country girl from Germany, a little town outside of Stuttgart, Germany, become that, you know, international speaker and teacher. And lo and behold, I'm in Santa Barbara now, in California, you know, where all these brilliant thinkers and teachers are from. And how I got there, that's another story, but very serendipitously. So anyways, back to the story about my book. So then 4 years ago, I really, really had the sense that if I could figure this out, if I could recover my joy and my pleasure and my zest for life, I remember being this radiant little being and being so trusting and connected to the universe, and, you know, making friends everywhere I go, and just seeing beauty in the world and believing in the world, and I wanted to get back to that. And so writing the book really became the process of my own transformation. And so I finished writing the book about a year and a half ago. And when I was, like, literally the day I was done writing my book, I had a complete physical breakdown. So I was was unable to do anything. I had no energy left. And essentially what had happened is that I realized during that time that I had been carrying this belief of not being, you know, not having any say in the matter, just utter powerlessness that is very common in, you know, survivors of childhood sexual abuse, that I had carried that belief to such an extent that it absolutely manifested in my life with the physical manifestation of having no energy. I had no power. At that point I had my second child. I wasn't even able to, like, carry him from, you know, the bedroom to the bathroom, really, without being completely exhausted. Again, the whole time though, I had an inkling, and I felt like, okay, you know, I've been working with this material for over 2 years now. I felt like I was really close to my dreams. I started dancing again, and then this total physical breakdown happened. And during that time, I had a very, I don't want to brag, or I don't want to sound arrogant, but for 4 days straight, my mind was absolutely quiet, and I got a taste of what it feels like to be at ease, to be home, to be whole, and to, you know, just be happy in your life. And then, of course, the monkey mind came back and started chattering. But since then, I've been really able to cultivate this deep sense of connection with myself and the world. And I feel like I'm fully living my purpose. I'm teaching this stuff. I have clients from all over the world. I live in a really beautiful space in Santa Barbara, and I get to do what I came to do. So I'm sharing all of this with you because I know that it's not a popular topic. Like, people, for the longest time, I was so afraid of sharing this material because I thought, well, people are just gonna not want to talk to me. They were gonna run away from me. And so I know it's not a popular topic, but I also know that unless we really go deep and go there, you can't have the life that you really want. I know that you are yearning to just be at peace and have your joy and your pleasure back, and be able to create deeply fulfilling relationships and a beautiful life, the life that you have pasted all over your vision board. And so I want to invite you with this video to come to my call, my free workshop on the 7 steps to reclaiming your joy and pleasure so that you can create your beautiful life. And the information for that you can find on this page. All you have to do is just put in your name and email, and then you'll get the access information. And I'm looking forward to sharing everything that I've learned on this journey and to journey with you, because it is my greatest joy and pleasure to be serving you and to see you blossom. My love to you.